with our webinar for the day, right? So the topic, as you could see, it's very clear. We would be discussing the various aspects around summer programs. I also am joined today with Vanya Agarwal. Vanya is a really bright student working with us, and I'll be giving her complete introduction. But she has been accepted with a really top summer program, and she'd be sharing her insights and her views on it. Meanwhile, I will be starting the presentation off by explaining what the summer program is, what are the applicabilities in terms of the applications themselves. So before we get down all into that trajectory, we just need a couple of questions from the audience. So if you could quickly vote which grade your guys in, so it'll just give me a better understanding of the audience. Right. So we have a good mix, kids right from grade 8 to grade 11 as well, right? So, you all have this one window of summer applications, right? So I'll just give it a couple of more seconds before I'll stop the poll itself. Anyone, who want to vote, just you could quickly drop in your vote immediately. Right. So I'm ending this poll. We'll be moving into a next one, which is, which majors are you guys interested for? Right. So largely engineering, followed by medicine, pure sciences, and economics and finance with mathematics. So largely STEM kids again. And again, Vanya is also a student who's not purely STEM defined, but interested in economics and mathematics. I guess the pre-law major is what she's looking at. So definitely a good perspective to have you, Vanya, today as well, seeing the audience. Right, now we'll just move across to this one final question. Have you guys, any of you guys considering summer applications for 2026, right? Are we going for summer application programs? So just let me know. Yes, no, and undecided. So yeah, it's all yes or undecided. One person is on the no side. I'll try my best to convince you otherwise. Right, but largely we have got yeses and undecided. So we will be then, looking at those whole aspect of the summer applications, why are they important, how they typically take your application through. So we will see why does it matter, what are the different types of programs available out there, how do you really choose overall application, and within the application, then we will have the session handed over to Vanya, who will just take us through her experience of a summer program application. And then eventually we will close across in terms of our approach and resources as we do with every presentation of ours. Now, just before we move on to the other, the topic, let me give you a quick introduction about the organization. So Let's Unbound began with a focus on skill building and empowering elementary and middle school students with STEM, life skills, and mentorship. Now, when these students progressed into high school, they started seeking college admissions guidance, and that's where we listened. We evolved our services to seamlessly integrate the storytelling through application into our already well-established mentoring programs. Now, by combining personalized learning, skill development, and strategic admission support, we guide students right from their early academic years to top global universities. So today we've impacted more than 4,000 kids across 25 countries, delivering 125,000 hours of expert mentoring. Our commitment to excellence has earned us a 4.9 out of a 5 global rating. And we're really proud to have partnered with organizations as STEM.org, Harvard Students Agencies, which has ensured that the students that we have worked with have received a world-class education experience. Right. So at Let's Unbound, we don't just prepare students for an entrance exam per se, or not just for their application, but for the complete profile and personality, right? We're trying to prepare them for their life moving forward. Now, the co-founders, along with me, we'll have a quick look into their profile. Amol is on the left. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's an education visionary. He with experiences at Tata and Exceed, which is India's largest school ed tech platform, and he has helped to scale impactful education solutions right across 2,000, right across 2,000 schools and 6 countries, impacting more than 250,000 students. Nishant, on your right, he is a mentor, he's an educator, he's really brains behind many of the learning pathways that we do share. With 14 plus years of experience in academy and industry, he has counseled more than 1,000 students and has designed curriculum solutions right from K-12 to executive MBA programs. He's an alumnus of SP Jain and a top-rated educator. He is a proud mentor of change under Atal Innovation Mission Niti Aayog. Right. The third and co-founder, which is me, and I am your host for today. While, as I've said, Vanya would be taking a good portion of the session. I've got 12 years of experience within consultancy in investment and edtech. I've worked with organizations as Jaguar Land Rover, Citibank, Standard Charter, and within education, I've worked with Crimson and Added Education. And currently, as I've said, I am the co-founder within Let's Unbound, and I'm working with students with their profiles and the complete journey from high school into their application years. Right now, the speaker for today, moving across to her profile. Just one second. Yeah, just moving across to her profile. So Vanya is a grade 11 student from a U school, Noida, who's really building powerful civics and communication impact profile through public speaking, writing, and community initiatives. Vanya is someone who just doesn't talk about change, but she consistently works towards it. Since 2023, she's been steadily blogging on literary grades, sharpening her voice and perspective through writing. And in 2024, she took the communication strength into the real world impact by co-founding Project Espacia, focused on improving economic and financial literacy, a cause that matters deeply, especially for young people making, early life decisions. On stage and in competition spaces, Vanya is equally formidable. She is a national level debater, and in 2025, she went a step further by starting a debate club, creating opportunities, for others to also grow alongside her. She's also competed at platforms like Mayo G20, the All India Haldiram Invitational, and the ABBPS Moot Court competition. So these experiences really reflect that kind of range and seriousness in her advocacy journey. And behind all of this long term, I would say, discipline and commitment, she really brings in consistency of a trained performer and athlete through competitive skating, which she's gotten a district level gold and state level appearances. And she's also Kathak training, which is level 2, and has cleared those pre-course exams. So today, as we hear from Vanya, you'll really notice something very clear about she's going to be giving that whole understanding of her journey within the summer application programs. So do try to capture what is that value that I will be firstly introducing you, just making you understand the summer program itself. Right. So just now move on to the next slide. Just give me one second. Yes. So about the summer programs. Right, we will start across by really seeing that what are those basic details. I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of an issue with my slide today, that once I'm clicking it forward, it's going too ahead. So I'll just be moving a little bit back and forward on it. So anyway, we'll first want to start across by understanding what a summer program in its actuality is. So summer programs are short-term academic commitments or extracurricular courses offered by top universities, right? Why do I call it a commitment? It is a 3 week, 6 year, a 6 week program, or even at times it even goes up to 8 week programs that you will be enrolling for. So these programs would provide you intensive learning in subjects like STEM, business, research, arts, leadership. They give students a really early taste of what university level academics and skill building typically looks like. Now, why are they really important, right? So, what do students get across from it? A, it gives you that boost in understanding what college applications are, right? Admission officers view the participation A as a sign of intellectual curiosity and commitment. It gives you this opportunity to understand that eventually when you will be applying for that specific university, what is the kind of narrative that you need to be sitting on. So it gives you that real kind of hands-on learning. So it gives you within the application stage on how to apply to a specific university, what are your major points, what is the personality that or profile you're trying to pitch across, and at the same time, while you're doing the program, you get real world experiences in that chosen field that you'd be going for. And obviously, since it's an opportunity at a top university, you get to network with top faculties and top peers as well, eventually if you would be going into that specific university as well. And as I've said, it gives you this preview of university level academics. And when you're putting onto your application, what you're also trying to put this statement across, that you as a student has also gone through a rejection and a selection of a university level decision and have had an experience of studying in a university classroom. And overall, it does help you develop critical thinking, leadership skills. All of these are, aspects that are really important that you're going to be learning from it. Now, as I've said, the length or the duration, largely minimum, as I've seen, 2 to 3 weeks, bare minimum, moving all the way up to 8 weeks. Typically, you'd see summer programs run anywhere between as early as mid of June, but they really have the largest amount running somewhere from July to August. So June to August is a good window that you could imagine yourself maybe going across for a summer program, which again I'll be explaining in the further slides, both available online and offline, which are the two modes. And there are also programs which are on a hybrid model. So they will be running an online course and they will be running an offline course. So all of those various opportunities are there for you to look across. Eligibility largely has been seen from grade 8 to 12, but the bulk of your summer programs, you'll be seeing the most difficult ones definitely will be 10 and beyond. 10 and 11 are those really hot windows that you are going to be using for those summer programs. Your 8th and ninth ones are mostly pre-college courses. They are mostly giving you exposure into a certain area. So they're not, I would say fully fledged out examples as I, give you a few, coming across and saying as a Harvard, as a MIT, or no, not the MIT because now they have moved away, the Research Institute program or the Wharton Global Youth Program, or one really specific, the Yale Young Global Scholar. These various programs out there really do help you. Georgetown, definitely, I should mention it again, as today we'll be focusing on that one summer program, definitely. But all of these are really good examples of these summer programs. Right, now moving across to the next slide, and as I've said that this may just jump off two slides. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. Right. So after details, yeah, we're moving to why do these summer programs really do matter? So many students and parents do ask us, do summer programs really make that difference per se in college admissions? And I've already told you at my first slide, a lot of the conversation today is going to be revolving around college admissions. So yes, the answer to that question, do they matter, is a definite yes. Admission officers at top universities look really beyond your grades and your test scores. They want to see students with that intellectual curiosity, the passion for learning, and really that acceptance to be taking up more challenges within academics, which are not really mandated by your minimum requirements, as examinations and grades and exams in schools. So all of these are the things that what your summer programs typically provide you. And the key points that I'll really put across is firstly that it really helps you stand out in today's environment of competitive admission applications, right? Thousands of students that are applying to your Ivy Leagues, to your top universities every year globally. So doing a prestigious summer program can really help a student to differentiate themselves, right? Can really showcase, as I've been saying to the admissions officer, your experience in the real world around the major that you would be declaring. Beyond that, as I've been saying, that it shows the right kind of initiative. It shows the ability very specifically to thrive in a competitive university level learning environment. Moving on, it gives you, good real world experience, hands-on learning. So unlike those traditional classroom learnings where these programs are largely more focused on your, I would say, interactive experiential education, students would be engaging in research projects, in case studies, experiments, and business simulations. So examples as RSI programs, students conduct real research with faculty members, which significantly strengthens their academic profile, and also gives them this opportunity to work on a research project that they can really talk about in their application itself, right? So beyond that, these 2 points, the third one, building up the relationship with professors. So many of these summer programs are taught at your universities. The offline programs, they're taught by the professors themselves. So if you as a student who's performing well, you may receive even a strong letter of recommendation. Beyond that, you're also networking in the right kind of area and the right kind of, I guess, domain as well, being an academic student. Now, this also helps students eventually, as I've been saying, with the letter of recommendation to apply to any of these universities because they become more of a certification from the institute itself in terms of your skills, in terms of your abilities. Fourthly, it demonstrates that right kind of academic curiosity and passion. So, universities want to see students who are actively in this pursuit of extra knowledge, of more information beyond that school curriculum. So, a summer program in AI, in business, or in medicine, or any chosen field really signals that genuine interest. So, these experiences strengthen the personal statements, they strengthen your essays with real world insights. Fifth, as I've already said, that relationship, it's a very easy, straightforward build here. If you've got those top relationships, you can, work well with your essays, with your personal statements, with your letters of recommendations. So overall, think of your summer program as an investment into your future, into your application future. So it's not just about attending a prestigious university program. It's more than that. It's also about the skills, the experiences, the relationships that you would be building that would set you apart in this whole college journey. Now, moving on to the next point, which is what are the type of summer programs out there. So we'll start by seeing these two categorizations first, your credit bearing and your non-credit bearing ones. Right, just 1 second. Let me just reset my screen. Yeah. So now choosing the right program, one of those primary questions have always been there. Is it just sensible to go and select credit ones or non-credit ones? So summer programs are a way that students do explore their strengths and their interests, and it's also gives them that understanding of that strength of their college application, gaining that valuable experiences. But some also do offer college credits. So while the focus on skills and research and your leadership remains even without those academic credits, but let's also just look into what a credit bearing program are. These are college level courses where students earn transferable credits that may count towards their future degrees. And why am I saying may? It really depends. It's not as a blanket thing as an AP. If you're doing it at that specific university, so yeah, you would be having those benefits. So they're great for students who want to challenge themselves academically. They have that experience. They get to experience that real college coursework. You're getting those credits as well, and strengthens your applications through those rigorous programs. So Harvard pre-college program, your Stanford summer, the Cornell pre-college program. These are typical examples of credit-bearing programs. Now, non-credit bearing programs. So these programs are very focused on your skill build, on research, on leadership, rather than just the academic credit. So they're really perfect for students who want to gain real hands-on experience. They want to build a strong extracurricular profile because, again, within extracurricular, you do also have academic extracurriculars. And beyond that, explore subjects and topics within research, within entrepreneurship or creative arts. And somehow I like to say this, all of your applied subjects. So if you're looking into exploring any of these aspects, it's going to be doing really well. So LaunchX, your NASA internships, Wharton Global Youth Program are just some examples of your non-credit bearing programs. So which one is right for you? So if you want to showcase that academic rigor, go for that credit program and try to see if it is a highly competitive program. And if you're largely looking for more in practical experience and you're not really bothered about credit, so you can also move ahead with the non-credit. Largely, I've been always been saying that looking at the competitiveness is the key. It's not the key if it's credit bearing or non-credit bearing. How elite the program is, how difficult is it to get through with the summer program really decides on how much value would it add into your application itself, if you're seeing it from a purely application point of view. Now we'll just move on to your offline summer programs in USA. So we'll be discussing those various types. So beyond the credit, non-credit, we are now moving into your offline and online ones. So we start with offline first. So some, as I said, which are focused on academic, some being focused on research and leadership and business. So there are various different kind of offline summer programs that you could look at. Pre-college summer programs allow students to experience university level coursework at top universities before you even do end up applying. But pre-college academic programs are largely based on your application, being gone through. They're not highly selective. And then from that perspective of you creating a differentiative application or you really trying to use this as a capstone activity doesn't work so well if you're looking into that pre-college category. Now, from the pre-college academic category, if you start looking into those research programs, so now this is when it becomes a highly competitive program that would really allow you, A, to work on cutting edge research with top university professors, which is going to be an elite program where a lot of students are typically looking to apply. So, for examples of these programs would be an MIT, would be a Research Science Institute program, the RSI, one of the most prestigious research programs in STEM. And many of those students who have participated on RSI have gone on, if you look into LinkedIn, gone on with the Stanford application, gone on with the Harvard application. Another example is Simon's Summer Research Program as well, which is by Stony Brook University. It offers you hands-on experience in biology, in chemistry, in computer science research. So all of these research programs are really ideal for those students who want to engage in real research, want to learn how proper college level research is done, contribute also to a certain level, if I'd say, into scientific discovery, and build a skill set while you're coming back to work on a really bigger research project that can become a cornerstone in your application, along obviously with this participation itself. At the same time, other kind of offline summer programs, there's some internship and entrepreneurship and leadership camps as well. So your Wharton Global Youth Program by University of Pennsylvania or LaunchX by MIT. Both of these programs are really fantastic. The Wharton one really focuses on finance, entrepreneurship, business and leadership skills, while MIT LaunchX really helps you understand in building and launching your own startup. So, students who are really interested in business and leadership and problem solving. So these programs develop those essential entrepreneurship skills. And these programs are really perfect for those students who are trying to make an application moving specifically in these areas. Now, moving across to the other kind of programs, you do also have a very focused STEM and coding programs as well for students who are interested in technology, engineering, artificial intelligence. STEM programs really provide you that hands-on learning and within those real-world applications. So you do have Carnegie Mellon's CMU's AI for All. It's a highly selective program. There are also good programs with NASA, high school internships. So both of these programs, really give you that right kind of learning within computer science. So the CMU one is largely focused around artificial learning, machine learning as well. Students would be learning how to code, how to work with AI on AI projects and network and tech industry experts. Also from Google and Microsoft would be on visit. On the other side, NASA would really help you to engage on real NASA projects within the space of aerospace, robotics, and engineering. And students actually get to interact with actual NASA scientists and engineers. So all of these programs really help you to develop that technical skills, real world experiences in those advanced projects, and gain industry exposure on a really large level. Beyond that, I'm just giving 1 second, I'll have a bit of water. So for now, moving on to the fifth category. So for students who are looking at arts, humanities, and social science programs, and if you're interested in, let's say, writing, debate, philosophy or arts, these programs really help you to refine your critical thinking, communication, and creativity. So Yale Young Global Scholar, a program that again will be discussed in detail, really does give you that right amount of exposure within international affairs, within law, within humanities and STEM. And it is one of the most prestigious humanities-based summer programs out there. Many of your YYGS students that have successfully gone there have successfully gotten admitted into your Ivy League schools. Another one, Kenyan Young Writers Workshop. So that's also a very good creative writing program, again for high school students, which really helps you to improve your writing skills and crafting compelling essays. Right now, the closing statement across on your offline summer programs is the right summer programs largely depends, I would say, on your career goals, your discovery goals. What are you trying to evaluate, learn? So see it from that perspective. Don't just see the brand of university. The content of the summer program is going to be extremely important while making this choice. Now we'll be moving on to the next topic, where the next comparison, which is the online summer programs. So again, not all summer programs in USA you are required to be traveling to the country itself. You can be doing a lot of online summer programs from these top universities that really allow students to access the world-class faculty, again participate in an interactive learning environment and earn certifications from anywhere across the world. Now, a few of these online summer programs, right, which what are they typically running across? So you have your pre-college summer programs already, the same concept that I had explained to you. They're much more as just learning experiences on a certain topic, much more on exposure. They don't come across as highly competitive, so they wouldn't become any of your capstone activity, but definitely a good learning journey. So doing a pre-college program on an online method is much better if you're from India rather than traveling to America and doing it on an offline method. Otherwise, online programs also do exist in terms of your research and STEM as well. So just to give you an example of an online research program on the same level as I've given you for the offline, Stanford AI for All is a virtual program, which is, again, an intensive AI and machine learning program, intended for your high school students. It's taught by our Stanford professors and AI industry experts. So students build real AI projects and network with top researchers. So programs like these really allow students to gain, again, technical skills, gain work on real life projects, and connect with industry leaders. Third, again, you have options of your online entrepreneurship and leadership programs as well. So the Wharton Global Youth Online Program does exist. Your LaunchX also has the virtual entrepreneurship program. And then just moving on to your online humanities one, the same Yale Young Writers Workshop is a virtual program that you could apply for. Oxford has got a lot of various online summer programs. Harvard has a lot of online summer programs in that way in terms of entrepreneurship. And lastly, you do also have various leadership programs that you could be looking across at. Again, Wharton, Brown, John Hopkins Center for Talented Youth, the CTY program. It's also offered on an online methodology. So all of these top programs, highly selective as well, can be taken on an online methodology. You don't really need to travel to America to have these, to participate in these summer programs. Right. So now just moving across to the next topic. Right. So how do you choose the right kind of a summer program? Sorry, just let me go back to the right. Yeah, how do you choose the right kind of a summer program? So one of those primary things that I'll say, try to align it with your future major or career aspirations. Think about what do you want to study in your college and what is the career path that you're considering. So the program should try to give you a really real world experience in that chosen field that goes on to explain to the application officer that admission officer, sorry, that you have looked into this practicality side of the field that you're looking to apply for. Check the program selectivity reputation, as I've been constantly saying. The best way to select a program is not just typically online and offline. That can be a consideration, but the real consideration eventually should be the selectivity of the program. So the higher grade that you're in and you're looking for capstone projects, so doing an RSI, going for YYGS, NASA, Wharton, all of these programs are going to be typically good. If you're in the early grades and you're looking across at much more of an exposure rather than, let's say, a final program on the application, your AI programs as Stanford AI for All or Harvard pre-college programs or any of the pre-college programs offered on that online methodology, or even offline if you're residing in USA, with an easy and entrance is going to be a good way of just learning through those topics. Overall, consider the location as well. The whole travel from India to America, even if you, and especially if you're on an Indian passport, considering the visa requirements and the budget will all be very important. Also, do consider not just the duration, but the time frame in which those summer programs may be happening. You may be, having a clash within your school, so you may need to clarify all of that. And also do as a fourth point, then moving on, prioritize mentorship and networking opportunities. See the kind of university that you're going for. What would be the chances of you to build in to a letter of recommendation? What are the chances for you to build into another participation of a research project even while going back at home? So this should be also an important thing. And lastly, try to find out past success stories. So if you know about a summer program, try to find out students' profile that have done it and see what kind of college that they've gone for, what kind of degree that they have done, and eventual career progression. Right, now we'll just move on quickly into the application process, right? Which is how do you typically move across on this? So the materials that are going to, so the deadlines are largely going to be, they've started for a lot of programs, but I would say March is one of those early deadlines that you should be all considering. So for example, Wharton Global Youth does run till March itself. NASA various internships are going till there, Berkeley programs are going till March. But there'll be also some programs that would be running all the way up till April itself. So do look into the deadlines. In terms of the application material that what you need, the considerations that need to be done there, every application is going to state the number of essays that are required. They're going to be stating the resume or letter of recommendations. To do make sure that you are having a look at that. Overall, make sure that you are avoiding your common mistakes, not preparing at the right time, submitting your half-baked essays. And again, this is one part which we'll be using Vanya Cross at a later stage. She'll be helping us to explain this better. And no, we'll be looking at those various tips. Now, moving on to your yeah, your cost and the financial aid options. So within your summer programs, they are going to be offered at a range from anywhere between $2,000 and even up to $15,000, where the eventual ones are going to be also covering your tuition, your housing, your meals, the activities, and obviously there are those top programs where prices are touching quite a high amount. Right, one second, sorry. Yeah, so now just the program breakdown and how that normally comes across. So you've got your tuition fees, which is, the lectures. It's going to cover the lectures, the materials, the workshop. Accommodation and meals are also covered, which is going to cover up your on-campus housing and dining services. There are also extracurricular activities that are going to be put across into it. So field trips, networking events, any special projects, all of that is going to be added. So just to give you a few numbers out there, YYGS, it is around $6,500. There are scholarships available. RSI program is actually fully funded. There's no cost that is attached there. Harvard pre-college program can also run anywhere between $5,500 for a 2-week session. Wharton Global Youth has also prices up to approximately $9,000 for their top business programs. Stanford AI for All is around $3,500, but again, they do have some scholarships available. So again, as I've said, the good news is that many summer programs do offer scholarship, and some even do cover up 100% of the total cost itself. The scholarships are available in your two kind of categories: your need-based financial aid, where they largely look at your financial and home finance and family income to really offer you a financial aid. And there are also merit-based scholarships available where, it's largely based on the meritoriousness. So, for example, need-based would be YYGS, Stanford AI for All, Harvard pre-college programs. They all offer financial aid-based services. And within merit-based, I could give you two top names, your Simon's research program or the RSI program itself, which are completely free, based totally on your merit-based aspect. Right. Lastly, there are also your other costs that you'd be looking across as various internships that you would be, staying back across for. So that is also one different way to be looking into these programs. So there, you're not going to be making a payment, but you could be getting a stipend for a participation itself. It's working on actual research projects. So a lot of NASA high school internships provide stipends for students to be working on aerospace and engineering. Your Google CSSI program, again, it is free for selected students, and some also do receive a stipend. Various other university research programs also do, give you a lot of stipends as well. So tips for reducing cost, I would say, try to apply in the early windows. Try to apply for financial aid as early as possible, and try to look out for your fully funded options. Do remember your fully funded options, your stipend options are also the most competitive ones out there. And lastly, consider your online programs much more strongly than if you're looking at something which is much more budget friendly. Right, so now I'm done with the whole introduction of your summer programs. I'll be now just moving across and handing it over the webinar to Vanya. She'll be running you now through with the Georgetown summer program that she has been selected for. Right, Vanya, over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so good evening, everyone. Firstly, I would like to discuss the Georgetown Summer Program. It's basically, as we know, a program initiated by the Georgetown University. It has a variety of options available, variety of programs available. Mainly, the three types of programs that Georgetown University offers is the academies, the college prep program, and the summer college program. Now, first and foremost, the academies. The academies, in a way, are a simulation of holistic development and an introduction to college level classes on a variety of topics. We have economic policy, global policy, medical academies, non medical academies, STEM based academies, humanities, social sciences. There is a vast array of topics available. It usually ranges from 1 week to 3 week academies. For example, the law academies are 1 week. Then we have business academies for 2 weeks, and then economic policy and business policy, global relations academies for 3 weeks. The cost for these go as the length increases. The 1 week academies have a cost of around $3,000. The 2 week academies are around $6,000, and then the 3 week academies are around $9,000. They are not credit bearing, as opposed to the other kind of programs offered by Georgetown University. Then there is the college prep program. College prep is, as the word suggests, a simulation and a preparation of college applications. They teach you skills, they help in SAT preparation, they give you an introduction to undergraduate level classes so that you can further strengthen your application. It's not an exact simulation of college life. There is a possibility of credit, and it is 5 weeks long. And then the last program is the summer college program, which is a credit bearing program. It can be 5 weeks for the offline version and 8 weeks for the online version. There are hybrid options available as well. These these programs are an exact simulation of what college life would be like. They will give you the opportunity to attend undergraduate level classes with current undergraduate students, freshmen, sophomores, and you would, in just a few short words, for 5 weeks or 8 weeks, see what it is to be a Georgetown undergraduate student. The main concept of the Georgetown summer program is for the academies an option for you to explore topics you are interested in. For example, I have selected Economic Policy Academy. So for 3 weeks, it would give me an overview into what economic policies and policy formation is, how this process goes, how it happens, and to connect with peers who share the same ideals and thoughts. Then, of course, because it is a summer program hosted by one of the most prestigious universities, it develops college level study skills. Students attend undergraduate classes, so the entire ideal of having, the concentration span of 3 hours attending a college class under Georgetown professors, that is a skill that most profoundly develops. Then the Georgetown faculty is the major uh, viewpoint over here. The Georgetown faculty is the faculty that teaches you undergraduate students, the TAs, the RAs, and then of course the professors. And yes, students live on campus, so there is the campus life. Of course, there is a commuter option also for students nearby. Then, for the process of getting into the Georgetown summer program, unlike other summer programs like Telluride Association summer seminars, University of Notre Dame, U Chicago pre-college summer programs, or Yale Young Global Scholars, Georgetown has a relatively simple and direct application. They do not ask for a comprehensive list of your extracurriculars or your accolades like other programs do. But two things they stress upon the most is your letter of recommendation and your personal statement. Unlike other programs, also, Georgetown directly asks for a 500 word personal statement, which is straightforward and asks, why do you want to attend this program? That I believe is a very important aspect, because considering a lot of your extracurriculars do not go into the program, the major base of getting selected into Georgetown would be your personal statement, and then secondly, the letter of recommendation. Now, for Georgetown or other programs also, the kind of recommendation you give is not a letter that is sent to the university. It is a portal where your selected recommender, it is usually a teacher, that person is usually a teacher. They fill out your information on various aspects: your behavior, your participation in class, your grade level. A very common question and a very important question is your ranking in your grade, whether you're the top 5%, top 2%, top 10% of your grade. And then of course there is an option for your teacher to attach your letter of recommendation. So for me, considering I was applying for economics policy, I would always recommend contact a teacher who is central to the topic, to the course you are applying for. I contacted my economics professor, and that is what helped me, because a lot of my accolades and a lot of my behavioral achievements were listed through an economic perspective, which was central to my application, because applying to the Economic Policy Academy. Then, of course, personal details, they ask you, parental details are asked, basic personal level details are asked. However, for this program, grades are not a central point. They do not ask you for your grades at your end. Your grades, of course, are asked by your recommender. Then you have to be a current high school student. It can be grade 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th. This is a program available to current 12th graders also. And lastly, there is scholarship available. The scholarship application for Georgetown is a separate application available on their website. Although there is one essay requirement, if you're not applying for scholarship, you have to fill out two extra essay prompts, which are 200 words and 250 words for your scholarship. There are two essays. One essay is an experience that you have had and how it has changed you, and the second is why would scholarship or aid from Georgetown help you, and how would you improve by attending this course. So then scholarship. Now for Georgetown, I would say it is a merit-based scholarship rather than a need-based scholarship, because they do not ask your current financial status or your family income. Rather, they ask you things on a more academic perspective. Lastly, the registration window. So there are two registration windows. The early bird, which has already closed, Jan 31st. The second registration window would be closing on April 30th. So there is an opportunity for students currently in grade 11th and 12th to apply as well. The results come out on a rolling basis. My result came out in 12 days. It can take a bit longer or a bit shorter than that. And then the scholarship window for the academies closes on March 2nd, and the result comes out on March 31st. This is all for the Georgetown summer program. Then we'll move on to Yale Young Global Scholars. So, as Sir said, Yale Young Global Scholars is one of the most prestigious summer programs available for students. It is in the STEM, global policy formulation, or humanities and social sciences based program. It is an extremely competitive, academically rigorous summer program. It is available to students from ages 16 to 18, and sadly current 12th graders cannot apply for this program, only rising juniors and rising seniors. The duration for this summer program is 2 weeks. It is spanned across three sessions. You can select any one of the any one of the three sessions. It is usually end of June, beginning of June to mid-June, mid-June to end of June, and then beginning of July to mid of July. It is residential. It is a residential program, as in the Georgetown summer program. Students live at Yale dorms. They live with undergraduates. They live with college students, and they experience the college life alongside a lot of these summer programs, because a few summer programs in the US have a requirement of you being an American citizen or an American student, just like PSJP. But just like Georgetown, YYGS has a global cohort. Students from all around the globe can come into the can be admitted to the summer program, and YYGS particularly is famous for admitting students from a wide array selection of countries, and is extremely international student inclusive. Then, at the end of the program, students receive a certificate, which is a certification that they have completed the program, they have engaged in the college level classes. Now, Georgetown is a program which focuses on on your extracurricular enrichment more, whereas YYGS is a program that is extremely stressed upon the academically rigorous brightness of a student. A student has to be extremely bright in their academics. I would say at the top of their grade level to be admitted to this summer program, because in this summer program it is a direct simulation of college level classes. There are 3-hour college level classes daily. Students attend symposiums, they work on on a capstone project. A few instances from past years have been a capstone project targeting uh, people in Afghanistan, in Iran, in Iraq. So that is a very holistic way students are prepared in this program. Now, for the process of YYGS, of course, the age requirement is that you have to be between the ages of 16 to 18. The grade level, currently a high school sophomore or junior, so students who will be entering grade 10th or grade 11th this year will have the opportunity to apply for YYGS. Then YYGS, unlike Georgetown, requires a lot of components for your application. The first thing is an activities list. You have a list where you can upload up to 10 extracurricular activities. That is your selection. And you have to write about them. You have to list any specific distinction or any specific recognition you've received, and you have to highlight what grade levels you were involved in. So for me, I would say I mainly talked about my ventures, me being a ZIR, my Kathak experience, skating, a lot of the extracurriculars that you think have shaped you up. And then, of course, you have to write in a few short words how selective or how prestigious your accolades were. That is a very important aspect. Like, for example, for my ZIR position, I wrote that I was selected for a 20% council out of a pool of 120 plus schools. And then you have to, if you're in applying, entering sports, you have to list your highest accolade in dance, the highest grade level you've received. If you have an organization, any recognition or any fundraiser you've done, where you maybe if you have an organization and you've fundraised, for example, 50,000 rupees, that is the highest level of recognition you have. So write that down. Then you have multiple essays in YYGS. Your biggest one is your 400 word essay. Now, unlike Georgetown, the essays in YYGS kind of beat around the bush. They dance around the topic. They are very emotional. They are not direct questions asking you why do you want to attend YYGS. They are introspective questions. Like an experience that changed you. Someone you had a misconception about, and that opinion that changed about you. And then you have two fast take responses. They are 280 characters, so around 30 to 40 words. They're extremely small. One was what is your favorite word, and the second was if you could shadow a person for one day, who would that person be? Now, you have to be, of course, very creative because you have 30 words and you have to write something that is profound. For example, I believe we have all heard of the essay, I Hate the Letter S. So, a unique perspective. And when you're looking for someone, like, if you would shadow someone for a day, don't go into a very direct, if, for example, I want to go into law, I'm not going to say Amal Clooney. I have to talk to a person who's been relevant to me emotionally. That is something which is extremely important. And then one 200-word response is required. The question this year was your journey, something meaningful that has shaped you. So, as I said, very emotional, introspective topics. They do not outright ask you why. But of course, throughout the program, there are a few short 200, 150-word requirements where you need to write, okay, why do I want this course? Like, YYGS has three courses available. It has politics, law, and economics. It has innovations in science and technology, and it has solving global challenges. So when you're picking one, you will be required to write around 200 words, explaining why do you want to go into this specific topic. So you can talk about the professors over there. You can talk about whether, for me, I applied to politics, law, and economics. So economics is a very central thing to me in my life. So talk about the importance of the entire course and how it would affect you. Then There is an official school transcript that is to be uploaded. So, as I said, it is an extremely academically rigorous program. They focus on your academics a lot. So, you have to upload your official school transcript. They will ask you for your high school transcript. So, grade ninth, 10th, and 11th if you're in 10th. So, upload your grade ninth and upload your mid year 10th. So, for example, I applied during grade 11. So, I uploaded my midterms, the transcript for my midterms as well. And then the most very important thing, just like in Georgetown, your recommendation. Your recommendation, I would say, in every program is extremely important. But however, some programs like Telluride Association summer seminars, they do not ask for recommendations. They do not, in a way, want other perspective into who you are as a student, someone else's perspective, your mentor's perspective. They want to know you as you think you are. And then there is an application fee. It's $80 for the early bird deadline and $95 for the regular deadline. Sadly, both the deadlines for 2026 YYGS have passed. But for future reference for students in grade ninth and 10th, the early bird deadline is usually in October, and the regular deadline is during Jan. You get your results of the October deadline in December, and the Jan results come out in March. Then English proficiency scores. So now there is a prerequisite for students who do not attend a high school that mainly teaches in English. The English proficiency scores are a requirement. However, for students who are in a high school that has a primary mode of communication as English, you do not need to certify that you are proficient in English. However, for both of these students, a, 300 to 400 word essay writing how proficient you are in English. So you can talk about your literary experiences. Maybe you've read some books that you like, or maybe in your family you grew up speaking English in your class. So through that essay, you just need to reflect that I have a strong hold on English, and that is basically a requirement, because they need to know if you can understand undergraduate level classes that will be conducted in English. So just try to affirm through that 400 word essay that I am proficient in English and I will be able to understand the classes if I'm selected. Then, as in Georgetown, they have need-based financial aid. Now, Georgetown has another application accessible on their website. So does the University of Notre Dame for their application. However, YYGS has their scholarship application attached to the main application. You need to indicate whether you're interested in applying for a scholarship or not. And if you are, they ask various credentials, a lot of financial documents such as tax returns, salary confirmations of your parents. For example, if both of your parents are working, then you need to provide some sort of proof of their income, or one of your parent is working, some sort of proof of their income. And then there is a statement of need that is required, where you basically need to write why you won't be able to attend the program if you are not given a scholarship. Like, for example, for YYGS, it's $7,000. So why would you not be able to pay $7,000? So in that, you need to explain the entire financial situation of your family, things as basic as grocery bills, house bills, school tuition, that all is included. And then expenses as big as medical treatment for someone, tuition payment for another sibling, they're studying in university. All of these informations need to be included. So this is all the information that is required in YYGS and the entire process for YYGS.
Right. Thank you, Vanya, for those wonderful insights. But we will be now taking a couple of, more questions for you. I'll just be asking them, largely on your experience with the whole program, with this whole journey. So I'm just asking, what should prestige be one of the factors while choosing a summer program? How do you see prestige and summer program selections?
Yes, sir. So, of course, when you're factoring in your program, you have to look whether it is good to attend or not. However, I would say that it is not the only thing. At the end of the day, in your summer program, what matters is the experience you gain from it. You might not go to a program that is perceived not as prestigious, but you might gain some insights, and you might build connections with professors that turn out to be extremely useful. However, if you go to a program, for example, the Harvard Pre College program, or even TAFE, which is the most selective program on this planet. You
Hmm.
might not gain any experience throughout the whole 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and 6 weeks, and you come back, not having anything. So at the end of the day, while factoring in, don't put too much emphasis on prestige. If you have an acceptance from a program where you think you'll thrive, go there. That is a very good opportunity you can access.
Perfect. Now, are either extracurriculars and grades or essays, which is the most important aspect as per you?
So, for it depends application to application. Like YYGS has a very major emphasis on the academics, whereas Telluride Association
Hmm.
summer seminars focus primarily on your essays. Your essays are the most important thing. But at the end of the day, I would say that there is no absolute value that can be just handed off to any of these aspects. All three, your academics, your essays, and then your LORs, all three are equally important, because in a realistic point of view, you can't go to a summer program where you have extremely amazing grades, but your essays do not reflect who you are. You will not get accepted. And that goes the same that you have extremely insightful essays and you go to an academically rigorous program, but you do not have the academics to back it up. You won't be selected. So put an equal emphasis. However, if you should know when you're selecting your program whether you're applying to an academically rigorous program or a holistic development program. If it's academically rigorous, so ensure you have good grades to support it. That is
Hmm.
a bit more important than your essays. But if it's holistic development, have perfect essays. Of course, nothing can be perfect, but near perfect essays, so that the admissions officer for the program can really just see who you are as a person. Because for example, in TAS, the length of any essay is not less than 500 words. You have essays that are 1,000 words, 600 words, 700 words. So you really get the space to, just express who you are through, through 700 words, through 1,000 words. They ask you to do analysis on articles, on researches, so that your entire process is discovered. But then at the end of the day, I would say something that remains equally important throughout is your letter of recommendation. Because summer programs, what I've seen and through my experience, is that they really love knowing who you are from someone's perspective. And your teacher or your mentor can be a great person to provide it. So for this, I would also say start building, for students who are in 9th and 10th, start building relationships with teachers who are who are relevant to the major you want to go in. Because at the end of the day, for summer programs, you will need the recommendations, and the recommendations need to be good. There are ratings that they give on the portal. There are uh, adjectives they assign you. There are scales they grade you on. And at the end of the day, a lot of summer programs also ask for outright letters. Then there is also like YYGS only asks for one letter, Georgetown only asks for one letter, but U Chicago pre-college summer programs allows you to give up to three letters of recommendation, and they are outright letters of recommendation. So just have a very big they have a very big role in your pre-college summer programs, so focus on that also.
Perfect. And now, do pay to go summer programs have any value? What's your understanding on that?
Okay, so I would say that it would be the same as prestige. Of course, if the pay to go summer program is $15,000 like Carnegie Mellon or UC Berkeley or the Tisch summer program, that amount can be a bit outrageous to pay for a summer program, and many people might not go towards it, if especially if you're looking for budget friendly programs. But at the end of the day, I would say that it is all about building connections and getting experiences. The Harvard program is always free to go. It does not provide scholarships to international students. It only provides scholarships to American citizens. However, you can go to that program, you can build connections with professors from the best university on this planet, and you can have experiences from a very intellectual group of students. Because the thing is that pre-college programs in India or through in the world are right now not a widely known concept, I would say, especially around me, as colleges themselves are. So no matter which program you go to, whether it's pay to go or whether it's fully funded, you are always surrounded by very intellectual individuals individuals that have stories of their own to tell. They have experiences and they have a lot, of information to share to you. So just always factor in whether you'll be able to gain some experiences from it. You're going to Harvard. If you want to go into engineering and you're going to a summer program for economics, there's no point, even if it's fully funded. But if it is pay to go, if it's 4,000, $5,000 especially, but of course it has to be budget friendly to each person, but it is aligned to your major, it has professors that you really want to study under, it has, it will offer intellectual individuals, and you will gain experiences, feel free to go.
Right. Understood. Understood. Thank you, Vanya. Now we'll be moving towards the last part of our presentation. I don't realize we have gone above the time allocated, but we'll be just now looking across at our overall approach that we do take in terms of helping students in this journey. So while you are as a student who works with us, you would have seen the same aspect. But just to let the others know, we would go through the whole profile assessment initially. Whenever we start working across, we start to understand where those interests are, and that's how we do the programming shortlisting. And then we move across into the guidance with the application essays, the LORs, prepare you for mock interviews wherever required, and eventually the application review and submission. We do also provide you complete understanding and help over the financial aid and scholarship activities. Now, beyond the summer programs that we do help students with, so we do also give them complete support in terms of your overall academics and test preps with SAT, PSAT, APs, overall school scores. We'll help you in profile building as well, leadership projects, community service projects, passion projects, and eventually within the admissions prep as well. Right. Now, a couple of early admits that we have gotten for summer program. This is just another set of examples. So, we've got a kid who has been accepted to the SHAPE summer program, another kid with the FTE program for economics and leaders summer program, another kid with YYGS, and John Locke summer program, along with one with First Tech Challenge, and some selective Indian summer programs as well. Right. So these are a few success stories that we have gotten in summer programs already. Now, beyond that, as I always share various resources at the end of my webinar. We would be conducting again master classes every weekend. So I'll just let you know the topic for next weekend. And as well as I think there should be a master class that we would be conducting in the coming in tomorrow as well. But the first, no, I think tomorrow we don't have a webinar. This is the last for February. The next one we're having it on 7th of March, which is going to be Common App Secrets. So build an activities list that really gets you noticed. This month we also have a very interesting program that we'll be conducting again on 28th of March. So we do try on the last webinar of the month to be extremely interesting. So we'd have another student who will be joining us across, Anaya Jan, who has gone to CERN, and we have really called this topic from collision data to the Higgs boson. So she will be sharing her CERN masterclass story, and that is an opportunity that she had gotten through the LODA program. So again, it's going to be also a very interesting topic for 28th March. Do try to make sure that you just join us for that interactive experience as well. Right. Now, beyond our webinars that we do, we also put out the information on all of these various newsletters. So you could use the QR code at the bottom to just scan and get access. Right. So you could also use these two other QR codes as well to access our YouTube and WhatsApp platform, again, for the same perspective of getting as much as information on admissions abroad. Right. For any student who's interested in SAT diagnostic, you can now use the QR code on the screen, where we'll give you a complete SAT diagnostic and an understanding of how to get the 1500 kind of a score. So any kid who's just finished his 10th, or you're just starting with 12 but haven't gotten the right kind of SAT score, you could, participate in this diagnostic session. Right. Lastly, this is the last screen. So if you're really interested and want to understand how to get specifically just into a summer program, you could use the QR code on the screen to evaluate. Right. So we will be now concluding the session. So we have gone 8 minutes above the time duration. Thanks a lot for everyone, for attending and also for staying in tuned. Thank you, Vanya, for those wonderful insights. We'll now conclude the session, and I hope to see you again in another of these webinars. Thank you, Vanya.
Thank you so much. Have a
Thank you.
nice